Reverend Dwayne Anthony Walker, what do I say about him?
Oh, that was his first church. That was his very first church.
He is an awesome, awesome man of God. I thank God for him. He was such an integral part in my life during such a time when I really needed him.
Not only is he a good man, his wife, before she died, would have told you that she was not into the ministry until he brought her into the ministry.
He's not just been a friend, but he's also been a great pastor and a great brother. I still consider him to be a brother and a friend, and his family is my family. I love him dearly. I know that he is going to make an impact on the AME Zion Church just like his father, and I know that Reverend Walker is going to do great things for the AME Zion Church. He has taught me so many things, not just about the AME Zion Church, but he has taught me to look into our own history as African Americans to find out the truth, and I appreciate that about him. Furthermore, he is one who believes in looking into the Word to find out what thus saith the Lord before he makes a decision.
Wow. It was just fascinating to me during that time. A young man coming in here to Metropolitan. I've been a part of this church all my life, and just you could tell the conviction that he had in making this church move and to grow again. And it was just, for myself personally, it was just something I'll never forget, and I'll always have a certain amount of respect for this man because I knew how much he loved the Lord, and he knew what his goal was when he was here, and it was a big impact, and I thank him.
When Reverend D. Anthony Walker was here at Metropolitan, some of us have been in Zion all our life. He taught us Zion and the Bible. He had the greatest impact on the people, especially the young people. We miss him so much, and he taught us how to be good Zionites.
I met Dr. Dwayne Walker, I believe around 93, and my family was already here, and when I got here, he just was such a powerful person. I don't equate him with God, but he carried himself in a godlike manner, and that's the way that he brought things and presented himself to our church, which made us unite better as a family with him. And I really expect greater things out of him.
I was appointed as a trustee on the trustee board of Metropolitan. I was young, and it was just a surprise to me when he asked me. And before accepting, I prayed over it. But one particular thing, we were back in the room counting money after church one Sunday. And he had been preaching to us and preaching to the church about tithing. And then he was telling us as trustees and stewards, if he felt as though it's something that the Lord telling him that the church needs to tithe. And at that time, one of the members on the board said, tithe? We don't even have money to get from week to week. To do what we have to do at church. And something this young man said that impressed me was to go ahead and tithe. We had to trust in God. And we started tithing, and the church started growing. I saw this happen. I couldn't say this if I wasn't back there and saw this happen. It was just a strong impact this young man had, and I know the Lord had bigger things for him. And since leaving Metropolitan, that's all I've heard and seen.
He grew the church by evangelism. We had the director of evangelism come here. At the time, it was Daryl Starnes, and preached to us and taught us how to evangelize. And that's how we grew the church when Reverend Walker was here, by evangelism. All right, last.
I really appreciate Reverend Walker for the time that he was here in Metropolitan. I believe he had a great impact on the younger people and the older people as well. I really appreciate before every sermon, there's a certain way that he would sing certain songs that really had an effect on his sermon that he did preach. And he brought everyone very much together, and we really appreciate and love him for that.
When Reverend Walker was here at the church, now he's Dr. Walker, but we knew him as Reverend Walker. He had the greatest impact on the seniors and the youngest person in the church. He was so inspirational, so loving, kind. He was just the best pastor anyone could ever have. At such a young age, he seemed so old, but he was really a young man.
I'm afraid you didn't even ask me that question. Do I support him for bishop? If I had my way, he wouldn't have to vote. Do I? Every ounce of the way.
I fully support Dr. Walker for Bishop. Dr. Walker, I love you, and I support you, and I appreciate you. I thank you for everything that you have done in my life. Walker for Bishop 2016.
Walker for Bishop 2016.
Walker for Bishop, my boy.